Go on, give me one.
Don't be silly.
Give me one law.
Out of Brussels. There were loads out of
Give
Brussels.
me one. Why is that funny?
Lots.
You voted for it. There are lots, and you can't name one.
Well, Brussels, we didn't have control of our own laws.
For example?
I can't think of an example.
Well, I'll wait.
Pardon me?
I'll wait.
You'll have a long way. I can't think of an example.
No,
but
you're bound to be able to, because there's loads. Paul.
A man named Paul rang into James O'Brien's show to tell us all to calm down about Trump's tariffs. His argument was simple. Trump said he was going to do this, so nobody should be surprised. What followed was one of the most beautifully patient dismantlings you will ever hear on British radio. James O'Brien did not raise his voice once. He just kept asking Paul the same type of question in different ways. Name one EU law you are glad to be free of. Just one. Paul voted for Brexit in 2016, is absolutely certain it was the right call, and could not name a single law. Not one. And he is applying the exact same logic to Trump's tariffs right now. This clip is old, but I am bringing it to you today because nothing about it has changed. Now let us get into it.
Paul is in Hookin, Hampshire. Paul, what would you like to say?
No, just there's the emotion around this, and name calling, and Trump's this, Trump's that, Trump's the other. I don't know why everybody's so surprised. When he was, going for election, he said he was going to do this. Everybody knew he was going to do it.
Everybody kept telling us to ignore what he said and concentrate on what he did. You remember?
I do, but again, we've got short memories. When he was, in his first term, he said he would do a number of things, and he did.
Well, he did. He said he was going to end the war in Ukraine on day one. He said the stock market would go up and he'd make everyone richer. You now have the Swiss investment bank UBS, widely regarded as a leader in this field, predicting an inevitable recession with growth GDP.
We'll see. We'll see in time, but, this happened 2 days ago. My point's very simple. He said he was going to do this. He's done it. The emotion and the response is quite ridiculous, I think, in terms of, he will want deals. He wants to make a deal with people. This is his way of doing it. No, you don't need to like it. None of us need to like it. But name calling and saying he's this, that, and the other, I just don't think it takes anybody anywhere.
You're being a bit woke, Paul. A little bit of name calling, a little bit of mischief, a little bit of fun. It keeps us all honest.
I'm the least woke.
Keeps the conversation fresh.
Least woke bloke in the world.
Yeah, I thought you might be.
In the world.
So, what should Starmer do in this context then?
Well, I think the first thing is, it's 10%. I think that was probably better than the UK thought it was going to be. I think.
No, it's exactly the same as every other country in the same situation as us.
Yeah, except Europe.
No, they're not in the same situation as us. They have a different trade balance, a different balance of trade. So any country with a comparable balance of trade to us gets the 10%. There's no special treatment there whatsoever.
Okay, so that's where we are. Trump is looking after America. It's his country. It's not our country.
You just said it's going to go into recession. Its own stock market. They've lost $2 trillion. How is that looking after America? No, I will, but you're going to have to address the question of how is a $2 trillion loss overnight looking after America?
Well, he's talking 1 day, 2 days. Let's see what it's like in 3 months. Who knows? I don't know, and nor do you, and nor does anybody else.
You just said he's looking after America, and I've just said he's just lost trillions of dollars. So in the context, so in the context of now, he's hitting America really, really hard. But at some unspecified point in the future, things might go really well. Did you vote for Brexit?
Pardon?
Did you vote for Brexit?
I did.
Yeah. And this was the same argument we heard then.
Well, no, but Starmer is the leader of Britain. Hang on. Starmer's the leader of Britain. Because we are on our own, he can decide what the government decides to do in response to these tariffs. Now, he can retaliate. That's up to him. He's our leader. Yeah? He needs to look after Britain. Yeah, that's his country. And the Swiss need to look after the Swiss, et cetera, et cetera. And it all goes around like that.
Yes.
Because that's what Trump's doing.
So what do you think looking after Britain would look like? And you can't keep saying that Trump is looking after America because he's just tanked trillions of dollars from the American economy. They've laid off car workers in America temporarily as a direct result of the impacts his tariffs will have upon their overseas operations. But you knew that.
Well, I know that, but I think, Rome isn't built in 2 days, and nor's the response. We're talking about 2 days.
But this is Brexit again.
Yeah, but you're talking 2 days.
But I'm talking $2 trillion.
You know the market's probably better than I do.
When's the last time $2 trillion were lost overnight? US stocks plunged.
I have no idea.
But doesn't it matter, though, to your optimism, especially after your vote for Brexit went so badly? Doesn't this idea of sticking all your eggs in the things are going to be great at some unspecified point in the future, haven't you kind of got bored of that yet?
I just think people are so surprised by something he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
And he's done it. Now, the response will be interesting. I think, he prides himself, if people want to call him a narcissist, he prides himself on being the art of the deal.
What he
wants to do is to negotiate.
Well, he didn't write that book.
Well, no, I know. You're right.
Do you know what happened the last time they brought in tariffs like this?
Oh, God, no, I haven't got a clue.
But doesn't it matter, Paul?
No, because I think that...
No, I mean, that's why I find conversations like this fascinating. You voted for Brexit. You're making all the same arguments about Brexit. Brexit was an undiluted catastrophe, but this one will go really well.
Well, I'm not sure it's a catastrophe, was it?
What's your favourite bit?
Pardon me?
What's your favourite bit?
My favourite bit is, well, you've probably got a point, actually. It's about controlling entry and exit from the country.
How's that worked out for you?
That's probably, you have a point.
Yeah, and we could, of course, have controlled it a lot more robustly before you voted for it. So the thing you voted for has been a catastrophe. The reason why you voted for it has got immeasurably worse, but you believed things would be brilliant at some unspecified point in the future, and here you are making exactly the same arguments about Donald Trump.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, I think... No, hang on.
I have hung on.
It's about the people. It's about the people, who are leading, this country. Yeah, and it should be very easy for this country to control its borders. They don't, because the government before and this government are useless.
See, I have a theory that everybody who likes Trump and Brexit is obsessed with immigration. And here you are talking about $2 trillion losses that America has taken overnight, saying, hey, wait and see, it might all turn out to be brilliant. But what you really, really care about is immigration.
No, I don't. I think I care about it.
Why'd you bring it up then?
Well, you brought it up. I didn't.
No, I didn't. I asked what your favourite bit of Brexit. I asked what your favourite bit of Brexit was. I asked what your favourite bit of Brexit was.
I gave you an example. You're right. Yeah, but no.
So what is your actual favourite bit of all the things that have happened? Yeah, and Brexit has played out, which is why the parallel is so interesting. So of all the things that have happened, what's your favourite bit?
Of Brexit?
Yeah.
I think just controlling your own laws.
Which ones do we control now that we didn't control before?
There's a lot now that we're not impacted by the EU that we were. I didn't like being dictated to by Brussels.
On what? On what?
Well, whatever the silly laws came out of there.
Go on, then, give me one.
Give
me one.
Oh, come on, there were loads.
I can't think of one, but you can, because you know that there are loads. Go on, give me one.
Don't be silly.
Give me one law.
Out of Brussels, there were loads out of
Brussels. Give me one. Why is that funny?
Lots.
You voted for it. There are lots, and you can't name one.
Well, Brussels, we didn't have control of our own laws.
For example?
I can't think of an example.
Well, I'll wait.
Pardon me?
I'll wait.
You'll have a long way. I can't think of an example.
No, but you're bound to be able to, because there's loads. Paul just told me. So I'll wait.
You're very good, but no.
No, I'm not. I just care about facts.
Anyway, we're not talking about Brexit.
No, I am. I'm waiting now.
You're waiting. The economy, let's wait and see.
Tell me the thing that's gone really well. You said the law that you're pleased about.
My point is, let's wait and see. I think many countries...
I'm waiting to see what law you're going to tell me about.
Hang on. Well, we'll negotiate, and Starmer can negotiate for Britain.
Don't change the subject.
Not for Europe.
Don't change the subject. Paul.
He can negotiate.
Paul, time for one of your wry chuckles, I think, Paul, isn't it now? Time for a wry chuckle? I'm still waiting for the law, of which there are loads.
Well, one of the great benefits is that now we're in this situation.
What about bendy bananas?
Now we're in this situation.
3-pin plugs?
Can negotiate for Britain.
Wrapping your fish and chips in newspaper. What's the law you're happiest that you don't have to obey anymore?
In this situation, one of the greatest benefits is that Starmer can
just say there aren't any, Paul, because everybody listening knows.
Well, this is a great one, isn't it?
Go on. What's your law?
Example.
What's the law?
Well, no, hang on.
No, I'm not. I've hung on for long enough. What's the law you no longer have to obey that justifies your Brexit vote in 2016?
Well, I'll turn it around to answer the question.
No, you can't. So you have to ask. No, you can't. Just answer the question.
Europe are not going to negotiate for us. We're going to negotiate for ourselves. That's the difference.
It's 10:45.
What Paul did on that call is not unique to Paul. It is a pattern, and it is worth naming clearly, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Paul came in with complete certainty and absolutely no substance behind it. He was certain the tariffs would work out eventually. He was certain Brexit was the right call. He was certain there were loads of EU laws he was glad to be free of. And when pressed on any single piece of evidence for any of those certainties, he had nothing. Not a law, not an example, not a fact, not even a rough timeline for when things might start going well. Just a vague feeling that at some unspecified point in the future it would all make sense. And James O'Brien drew the parallel to Brexit with devastating precision. Because Paul is not making a new argument about tariffs. He is making the exact same argument he made about Brexit in 2016. Give it time. Wait and see. Rome was not built in a day. The people saying it will go badly are just being emotional. And here we are almost a decade later, and Paul's own answer when asked what his favorite benefit of Brexit has been was immigration control, which the host immediately pointed out has got measurably worse since the vote. So the one thing Paul voted for Brexit to achieve has not happened. And his response to that was not to question whether he was wrong. It was to pivot straight back to defending Trump's tariffs using the same weight and see logic that has already failed him once. This is the Brexit Trump pipeline, and it is a real thing. These are not two separate political movements. They are the same movement wearing different flags. The same distrust of experts, the same contempt for facts, the same belief that the right strong man will fix everything if you just give him enough time and stop asking difficult questions. Paul could not name a single EU law he was glad to be free of. He could not explain how $2 trillion lost overnight is looking after America. He could not tell you what happened the last time tariffs like this were introduced. But he voted for Brexit, and he supports Trump's tariffs with the same unshakable confidence because the actual policy was never really the point. And that is the honest truth about a significant portion of the people defending both Brexit and Trump. When you push past the economic arguments and the sovereignty arguments and the America First arguments, you very often find that what is actually underneath it is a very simple and very human anxiety about demographic change, about the country looking and sounding different to how it did when they were growing up. Paul even brought up immigration himself when asked what his favorite bit of Brexit was. Not trade deals, not legislative independence, not economic sovereignty, immigration. And when the host pointed out that immigration has actually increased since Brexit, Paul had no answer because there is no answer. The thing he voted for to stop the thing he was worried about has made the thing he was worried about worse. And rather than sit with that uncomfortable truth, he has moved on to the next strong man promising the same solution. The tariffs will hurt. They already are hurting. American workers are being laid off. Markets have lost trillions. The UBS is predicting recession. And Paul's answer to all of that is wait and see. We have been waiting and seeing since 2016. At some point, wait and see stops being optimism and starts being something else entirely. This is Fool's Ballot. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who is still waiting to see. I will see you in the next one.